Hi, my name is Resihka. In this video, I will be presenting about blood components. So let's look at what is hematology. Hematology is the study of blood. Then what is blood? Blood is a fluid in the human circulatory system which contains numerous cells. Blood is red in color and the volume of the blood is about 5 to 6 liters, which is about 7 to 8% of the total body weight. The pH of the blood is in between 7.3 to 7.4, which is a state of alkaline. Blood composed of plasma, white blood cell, red blood cell, and also platelets. About 55% of the blood is composed of plasma. The remaining 45% of the blood composed of red blood cell, white blood cell, and also platelets. 91% of the plasma composed of water, 7% of protein, and also 2% of solute. Example of proteins are albumin, globulin, fibrinogen, and so on. Okay, this is the picture that shows all the blood components. So this is the plasma. As you can see here, the plasma is pale yellow color. It's a liquid which is a part of blood without a cell, and it contains water, nutrients, metabolic waste products, hormone, and so on. It is an anticoagulant which inhibits the coagulation of blood. It also composed of fibrinogen. Plasma is less stable compared to serum, and it is easily to get contaminated. Let's look at the function of the plasma. Plasma transports nutrients, hormones, proteins to all over the body. It helps to maintain blood pressure level and also body pH. It transports electrolytes like sodium and potassium to the body muscles. The next component of blood is red blood cell, or also known as erythrocytes. It is biconcave disc and is a non-nucleated cell. The maximum lifespan of red blood cell is 120 days. Red blood cell consists of a protein called hemoglobin, which carries oxygen from the lung to all over the body via bloodstream. The hemoglobin contains 4 polypeptide chain, as can refer to the picture below here, 2 alpha and 2 beta. Each chain attaches to one hem group, which contains porphyrin ring and iron atom. One iron atom can bind to only one oxygen molecule. Hence, each hemoglobin carries 4 oxygen molecules. Oxyhemoglobin is bright red in color, while deoxyhemoglobin is dark in color. As you can see here, when oxygen binds to hemoglobin, it will form oxyhemoglobin. Let's move into the process. Erythropoiesis is the process that takes place to produce red blood cells. In the embryo or fetus, the red blood cell produced in the yolk sac and liver and also spleen, while after birth, it produces in the red bone marrow. Erythropoietin is the hormone which stimulates the production of red blood cell in the bone marrow. At the beginning of the erythropoiesis, hematocytoblasts involved, which differentiate into megakaryocyte progenitor, and it further developed into proerythroblasts. From the stage of early erythroblasts to intermediate erythroblasts and to the late erythroblasts, the size of nucleus will decrease. Once at the stage of nuclear expansion, the nucleus will be expelled out from the cell and it will become reticulocyte. Reticulocyte then will further, it will mature into red blood cell. Another component of blood is white blood cell, or also known as leukocytes. Leukocytes have irregular shape, have nucleus. It made in the bone marrow and can be found in the blood and lymph tissues. White blood cells are divided into 2 categories, which are granulocytes and also agranulocytes. Agranulocyte is known as granular leukocyte, which contains small cytoplasmic granules. Agranulocyte is also called as agranular leukocyte. which lack of visible cytoplasmic granules. Okay, the example of granulocyte is neutrophil, which is also known as polymorphonuclear cell. It has 3 to 6 lobed nuclei. Neutrophil helps in phagocytosis. Eosinophil is another example, which has large granules with bilobed nucleus. This fights against parasitic infection. Another example is basophil, which also has a large granules with U or S-shaped nucleus. This produces inflammatory and allergic reaction. Example of agranulocyte is lymphocyte and also monocyte. Lymphocyte has a large nucleus, and the example is T cell lymphocyte, which protect from antigen. B cell lymphocyte produce plasma cell to secrete antibodies, and nature killer cell provide early defenses against pathogens such as viruses. Monocyte has a U-shape or kidney shape like nucleus, so it will fight against bacteria, viruses, and fungi. Here are the pictures of the granulocyte and agranulocyte, which they have different numbers of loop. Leukopoiesis is the production of leukocyte. It made in the red bone marrow from hemacytoblast. Leukopoiesis is stimulated by the interleukins and by colony-stimulating factors. The last component is platelets. These are the structure of platelets, and platelets are small and colorless cell. It made in the bone marrow. The average lifespan around 7 to 10 days. It has coating, glycogen, and also dense tubules. The major function of platelet is to form mechanical plug during normal hemostatic response to vascular injury. There are 3 main steps. The first step is adhesion. Platelets adhere to subendothelial collagen and dependent on von Willebrand factor. The next step is release ADP, serotonin, fibrinogen. And the third step is aggregation, which release ADP and thrombosin, which increase the aggregation of platelet and form platelet plug layers. That's all from me. Thank you. And these are the references I used to make all the information.